Dude, I just burned my arm hairs on that fireplace thing because I was looking at this little lamp, the little bottle lamp, and I'm like, oh, that rope's kind of close to the fire. I should turn it around. And then the fire just licked up on my arm. It was just like ate all my arm hairs. So
That's the worst smell too, isn't it? Burning hair.
yeah, I get used to it. I guess it goes away after a while. I got hairy arms though, dude. So like I'm always in
Do your
some
arms
form
catch on fire all the time?
I don't know. I think my arm hairs do. I don't like cooking. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. If you got open flame somewhere, it's like.
I think I'm just sitting too close to the thingamajig right now. Okay, that should give me a little room.
Speaking of catching on fire, dude, I had a part timer that has said she was driving to an event. She said, "Oh, I got gas in the van and I spilled a little gas on me. What should I do?" And I was like, "You got to be here in 20 minutes because you got to open up and sell tickets or whatever." And I was like, "And don't stand around in the open flame either because it was for Cigar Fest." And it made me think of that too.
I thought you were gonna say you should light your pants so that they go on fire.
Beat L. What? Go say my brother.
BLA, go San Francisco Giants.
He lived in Hawaii for a long time, and because the Dodgers are playing too, and it's a trip that growing up in Orange County, LA, you're not a Dodgers fan. What the heck's going on? J Mo, nice mustache. It's a full goat, man.
Yeah, dude, Adelaide's been
Thank
growing
you.
up for a
Thank
minute,
you.
Joe. Like I'm trying to get him to do the full thing so he looks more like Keanu Reeves. But yeah, so I had the trifecta weekend, Adelaide. That's what I was going to tell you. I didn't tell you
Okay.
off the air, but I said I'll tell you when I get on the air. So I did the trifecta weekend. So in other words, I watched the new Dave Chappelle special, the closer. I watched Squid Games, and I saw the Tyson Fury fight. Like, so all three things that everybody's talking about right now, I was doing this weekend.
Now, did you watch all Squid Games, like the whole season?
I think I'm on like episode 5, but
Dude, I don't even know where to start. Those are all great things.
dude, I'll say this: I watched a little bit of the Fighter and was it the King and the Sting with Brendan Schaub and Theo Vaughn.
Okay.
But Eric Griffin was on there from Workaholics, and he started spoiling it, dude. He's just saying all the stuff that happened on the show, and so I'm like, dang it! Now I got to watch as many episodes as I can to catch up with what he spoiled. So fortunately,
About Squid Games?
yeah. So fortunately, but he was like, it's been out for 2 weeks. You guys should have watched it by now. It's like, look, bro. We aren't professional comedians that sit around all day and can watch Netflix. Like, we get to watch a couple episodes when the kids go to bed. So I started Squid Games, and then the Tyson Fury fight. Like, it was one of those things where fights are weird to me because, like, I am a fight fan, but I don't want to be a fight fan or something. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'll see their fights coming up, and I'll be like, maybe I'll check it out. But dude, the day before the fight, I've already watched every single pre-fight thing on YouTube, the weigh-in, like every interview, and they do such a good job of doing those little packages, those snippet
Getting you
packages.
pumped up.
Yeah, dude. By the time the fight comes, I'm like, I have to watch this fight, or my life is not worth it. So,
Dude, even watching the press conference before with the girl that was kind of in between asking the questions.
Yeah.
And he comes out in a suit, Fury
Yeah.
comes out in a suit with no shirt, and Wilder was sitting there. It was kind of weird because Tyson was like ready to,
fight right there.
yeah, just talking smack, and that's what I got to be honest. I love it when they talk smack because it gets you kind of pumped up about it. And Wilder was just kind of chilling. However, towards the end, they started talking about you don't know me. Yeah, but that's where I was like, okay, I want to see that. And they wanted him to square up, and they're like, no, we're gonna skip that, which they should have done.
Well, no, because then you end up slap boxing and somebody gets hurt and they break their hand and then the fight doesn't go through and everybody loses millions of dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
So like, I agree with you. I like that stuff. But then you look at fighters like Dustin Poirier, and they're good fighters, but they just don't like talking crap. They don't like going on social media. They just want to go in and fight and go home. And then those guys don't get the big fights.
Yeah,
because there's no pay-per-view money in it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, there's respect there. Because
I respect them, but
you got to respect the dude that's humble and then just goes in the ring or the cage or whatever.
But everybody else knows Conor McGregor way more than they know Dustin Poirier. You know what I mean?
And he talks a lot of smack.
He does. But that fight, I'll say that. So I saw the fight, and the fight was ridiculous. That was literally the best fight I've ever seen in my life. Everybody's talked about it all week, I guess it's only Tuesday, but everybody's been talking about it for the past 2 days. Bombs on bombs. You never see this in a heavyweight fight. I don't know what kind of cardio these guys were doing. The thing is you'd see Deontay Wilder just get the pulp beat out of him, and Wilder came out like really quick and was giving these gut shots, and like those can really disrupt like your insides, your liver, all this stuff. So he's throwing these gut shots, and it's like, man, this looks like a different Deontay Wilder. Then the two of them start going to work on each other, and it was like, I mean, dude, Deontay Wilder. There were so many times when I was like, he's done. Eight count. Okay, now he's on the ropes. He's just gonna keep himself from dying, essentially. And then out of nowhere, bam, a giant right hook, and would just start dropping bombs. And you're like, how does this guy have anything left in him? That's why I like watching fighting, because it's you see guys, and especially MMA, you see guys and they're like, in your mind, you're like, they have nothing left. And then out of nowhere, they just will it out of themselves. Everything they can, they will it out of themselves.
Dude, that's like one of the toughest things, dude. Because once you're on the ground, dude, you're like, you know what? I could just lay here and I'm done, and I can get a good, I can call it. But you're like, I gotta get up, because even Tyson went down in what, round 6?
I want to say 5. It was 5
or
or
6. Yeah, he went down too. You're like,
for
whoa,
an 8 count too, dude. There's 5 knockdowns in that fight. Like so. Yeah, so anyways, that was nuts. And then the third thing was the Chappelle Special. And we have a story on it, but I kind of want to crack that a little early before we get to the news section, because that is like, that's the craziest special in the history of the world now. I feel like all three things are cultural phenomenon that we're going to talk about for years that just happened this weekend.
Yes. And the thing, just back to the fight real quick too, even Wilder, I mean, it was weird. I don't know if you had somebody you were rooting for, because now Tyson Fury, was he the favorite in that fight?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So if you're betting on the underdog, you're betting on Wilder. And was it a huge advantage? Was it 3-1? Was it? I mean, I don't think it was very big.
No, it was decent. I think it was 280 to negative 280. So you paid $280 and you got $1 back. I could be totally wrong.
I got you.
But
okay.
I feel like that was it. But so for me, I'm a Tyson Fury fan, but only since he beat Deontay Wilder. So I don't want to be a poser and be like, I've always loved this guy. But the reason why I like him is he's got a really neat backstory with that pikey boxing,
it's almost street fighting, right?
Yeah, but what do they call them? Gypsies, the traveler boxing. You're not supposed to call them gypsies or pikeys. This offensive. The traveler boxing, that backstory is so interesting, because you start when you're little. A lot of guys die because it's bare knuckle. It's it's really, really violent. And then he came up to fight, and he's a giant guy, but he's very slick, like Floyd Mayweather. Like he can maneuver out of the way of punches. And then on top of it, he understands the physics. And he just gains weight. He's just heavy, dude. 270 pounds.
Yeah, and dude, if you look at their bodies too, come on, Wilder looked like he looked ripped.
Wilder looks ripped, but Fury looks like a dad.
Yeah, he's got that dad bod, kind of no real tone in his arms even. He's got that kind of muffin top little bit going on.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this guy? But dude, honestly, besides the knockdown in the 5th or 6th round, other than that, he looked like he was just kind of rolling with it. Didn't seem tired. I don't know how he
had that much energy. Yeah,
didn't seem
11th round still had energy. I'm like, dude, you are so fat. Like, what kind of road work is this guy doing? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was... Dude, I'm telling you, I couldn't go to sleep after that fight. Me and Sherilyn stayed up like an hour later talking about the fight, just talking about it. Oh my gosh, just the sweet science of boxing and like the understanding of boxing is phenomenal. But the Chappelle thing, I want to get to this Chappelle thing, because this is controversial. It's so controversial. So I sent you a story, didn't I, Adley? Or did you have a story?
I got the. You sent me the one. Gosh, where is it? I don't know which one, but I got one. And just to, it's changed. The story, like we're talking about, this wormhole kind of gets bigger and deeper and wider and more complex.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys kind of the main gist of it, from what I'm understanding, is his special comes out. He kind of pokes fun at everything, everybody.
Seen it yet, huh?
No, I've seen bits and pieces, because I'm thinking, do I cancel Netflix after the stuff? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Who cares?
But dude, come on. We're huge fans of Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
You can still go back to the Chappelle Show almost 20 years ago.
Hilarious.
And yeah, it's super funny. And it kind of, he'd always kind of touched on things that were like, ooh, you sure you want to talk about that? Come on. from the blind black racist guy. I mean, woo, that's pretty. But you're like, man, this is hilarious, and it really pokes that part of your brain that you almost kind of don't want touched.
Am I not supposed to be laughing at this?
Yeah, it's in that area. So he obviously he makes some jokes about LGBTQ, and we talked about the baby when he brought that up. Like, the baby can kill a guy, nothing happens, but he makes fun. He makes fun of, not even makes fun, kind of just, this is the LGBTQ community at that concert that we talked about here on the Chino Brothers, and people want to cancel him, and Chappelle's kind of like, hey, look, you can kill a guy, but you make fun of, gay people, cancel. You're kind of like, wait, weigh that out. Where's the fair play there? It's a little bit different. So anyways, he does this, but there's this Jaclyn Moore. She's a trans woman, and she's the lead producer of another Netflix series entitled Dear White People. Now, just from the title of the show, Dear White People, it's going to be like, it's black actors talking about living in a world that's basically, all white people around them. And, and so however you take it. So it
was based on a movie, and the movie was about a college radio show where the girl goes on and says, Dear White People. And she explains to her white college, like, people that go to college with her, like, what could be, what's offensive and what they kind of need to leave go. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I like the concept of the movie. I saw the movie. I've never watched the show, but it's interesting because if you watch the special, so one thing he says in the special, he was talking about this time he was squaring up with a guy to fight. And I'm not going to tell the joke because I'll butcher it and it won't be funny when everybody hears it if they haven't heard it. But he goes to square up with this guy, and he calls him the B word. And that was a different one, because that he squares up with this person, and it turns out to be a homosexual. Dude, there's a lot of trans and homosexual jokes in this thing.
Okay,
and it's hilarious too. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he goes to square up with him, and the guy stands up and he calls the police, right? And he's like, "Look, if the police show up right now, even though you started the problem, you wanted to fight with me, and I'm just like, okay, well then let's fight. Who are they gonna take to jail automatically?" He's like. And this is what he says. He says, you want to be a minority, but as soon as you need the police, you're white. And so that's the thing. I think the odd part is the entire show. And he even says in the show, I don't dislike trans people. I dislike white people. Like, but, kind of clown. Yeah, exactly. It's funny. Yeah. But the whole special is hilarious. And it essentially is saying, hey, look, I get that you want to call yourself a minority group. I get that you want to have this victim badge. Okay, but you can't cancel us or try to suppress us because we're saying how we honestly feel about things. So can there be a dialogue, essentially, is what he's saying. And then what happens? The quintessential thing that he was just talking about, the trans person from Dear White People is like, oh, look how horrible it is. Okay, let's start with this. Have you seen a picture of that trans person from Dear White People?
Yes.
Have you seen them before they transitioned?
No. Oh, okay. So while they were still a man?
Yes. This is a white person that's like, you can tell. It's like, bro, you didn't grow up in an urban environment. You grew up with privilege. You know what I mean? Like you are the person you are complaining about. I'm kind of at a place where it's like, when is the media going to stop trying to force us to believe things that we don't believe? And the reason why I say that is this. Have you seen the Rotten Tomato score?
Is it really high?
Have you seen? Well, so you haven't.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, critics, 33%. Audience, 97%.
I think I read a story about that too. And can I just touch on your point about her, the trans Jaclyn, whatever her name is? Because I thought about that too. Because that's weird that it kind of struck a chord with you, because I was like, wait a sec, she's complaining now, wants to cancel this special now, but I'm like, wait, you transitioned already after you got the job as the lead producer on this Netflix show that's obviously doing well because it's going on its 4th season. So wait, when you got the job, you were a white male. What does everybody say
black
goes?
People how to think.
Yeah, and what goes with white males?
Privilege, I guess.
White privilege. So she got the job with white privilege, then transitioned she was waiting for this moment to be like, oh sweet, now I've got something that I'm a victim of, and I can cancel, and I'm gonna call my LGBTQ army to come and cancel this. But then then what happened?
Well, here's the next thing. NPR said that Dave Chappelle was using his white privilege.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he's white.
I think the thing is I think we're at a place in our society, and you can tell from the Rotten Tomatoes score that it's like, media, you're getting this wrong. We don't feel this way. We as America don't feel this way. And you can try your hardest to keep pushing on us, but it's like, look, we don't believe you. We don't believe you, and it's not a part of our religions. It's not a part of our ideals. It's not what we want with our families. You can do that, though. I think that's the real thing here is, dude, and I'm not, maybe even you personally, I don't see this happening, but if you personally wanted to be a transgender, that's on you. And I would be like, hey, man, do what you're going to do and believe what you're going to believe. If your belief is that you were born that way and that that's the way it is, sure, you can believe that. I don't. And if I'm being honest, I don't.
Gotcha.
And that doesn't make me bad, though. I have the freedom, not only of thought, but of speech. So if my thinking is, there's no science behind you telling me you were born a woman. There's no science. There isn't. If there's science, show it to me, and then we'll have a dialogue. But if the dialogue sounds like this, hey, I'm a white person in power, and I'm going to tell you what it's like to be what do they call them now? They call it a oppressed group or something, or a disenfranchised. I'm going to tell you what it's like to be in a disenfranchised group. And it's like, sure. I have no idea how you would know. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I mean? Dude,
and can I just throw this out there too? We DJ'd when we were DJing in Tucson, living on Congress Boulevard in one of those apartments up there. Dude, we'd have those after parties, and it'd be 50% gay.
Yeah, but
at least
you do you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you do you, and like that's how we always felt. It's like, you do you. I have no problem if you do you, but you understand I'm gonna do me, and you can be mad at me because I don't want to do what you're doing, but it's not going to change how I feel. Yeah. And it's also not going to change that I don't agree with you, you know?
I'm totally down with that. And dude, we'd go. Did you ever go to the drag shows with me? Maybe you didn't. I don't know.
With Charles?
But I'd go to the drag shows, and Thomas would go with me, Miranda, the whole Too Strong crew would go with me and stuff. And we'd go just because, whatever, dude. Because dude, I worked in West Hollywood, and a bunch of dudes were gay, and they'd have drag shows, whatever. It was no big deal to go to a drag show. We'd go watch these shows, get free drinks. You know what I'm saying? But then I remember we'd be hanging out, and I think Miranda was with me, and then some dude came up. He's like, "Hey, Adley, so you want to dance?" And I was like, "Kind of cool, holding my drink right here, bro. Nothing personal." You know what I mean? So I got nothing wrong. I got nothing wrong with your lifestyle, how you live your life. No problem. But even though, to quote, we talked about workaholics when they were talking about that, and they're talking about two guys being together. It's like, dude, it's just skin on skin, right? And it's like, it's a little more than that to me. Well,
so I want to get back to this marginalized group thing. I was listening to his name David Cho, the graffiti artist that did Facebook, and he got shares, which turned him into $500 million eventually, and he was just super rich. But I was listening to him on Rogan one day, and he was telling a story, and he said, I was driving down the road with my dad, and this was a recent story. So he was a grown adult, and he was in Orange County, and some guy just went like this to him, because he's an Asian American. He goes like this, he's a Korean. He went like this to him, and then him and his dad just looked forward, drove away, and felt emasculated. Adley, same thing happened to me when I was a kid. I bet you a lot of Asian kids with Asian fathers, I bet you they all have that story. Okay, the transgenders and the gays do not have this story. It is not generational. Being a minority is, my grandfather Well, crap, I told you the story before the show. My grandfather had his land taken from him in World War II because he was put in a prison camp. Then my father wasn't allowed to work in the restaurant because they didn't want non-Caucasians working there. And he couldn't shop a lot of places. And like I learned these things. African Americans have similar stories. Hispanic Americans have similar stories. Why? Generationally, you've been treated in a certain manner, and that's what makes you a minority. You know what I mean? That's why you can understand. You can kind of understand the stories of people from other minority groups. You can kind of relate. You know, you're going, yeah, I know what that is. Okay, now once again, freedom of thought, freedom of speech. That's what the country was based on. If my religion teaches me that you chose that, no matter what you believe, it doesn't make a difference. I don't believe you didn't choose it. We'll start there. We'll continue with, it also doesn't make you the same as me. Saying that the toil and the trouble that the people that I came from and the people that my friends came from is the same as you deciding you want to sodomize somebody, that's insulting to me as a minority. It is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's freedom of thought and freedom of speech. Now, once again, going back to it, do I believe you have the right? Yeah. Go ahead. Do what you're gonna do. I don't mind. That doesn't bother me. It's not gonna make me angry. I'm not gonna. Oh, I'm going on the mountaintop and I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna pick at you. You know. No. I don't even have an issue with gay marriage or any of that. It's like, dude, here's the thing. If you want to be married, if that's how you feel, that's fair.
Yeah.
I personally don't agree with your lifestyle. Not with you as a person. I don't think you're a bad person. I just disagree with this. You know what I mean? All right, well, why can't we say that anymore at the workplace? Why can't we say that anymore in the media? Why can't we say that anymore even at church sometimes? What do you think?
It's interesting because even, dude, I go to the Methodist church, and there's been a split between like the same-sex marriage and stuff too. So it's been, and I see people leave because we won't, like, we have nothing against it, you know. It's just, you know, whatever decision you do. But there were people, it's split, you know. It
the
totally
Bible says
divided.
it's a sin, and your church said they're going to follow the Bible.
Yes,
like,
we're Bible based.
Here's the thing: look how you're having to word this. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why do we have to word it this way? It's like, bro, we don't agree with you, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine with you existing and you having your beliefs and me not agreeing with them. Now, you need to learn how to be fine with me not agreeing with you. You know what I mean? This idea that you're going to brainwash me until I listen and I believe, you're wrong. Once again, let's look at the Rotten Tomato scores. If Dave Chappelle's special was so awful, why did 97% of people give it a fresh score?
Yeah. And you kind of touched on this a little bit too. Just, are people going to cancel Dave Chappelle? Obviously not. Is Dave Chappelle bringing in money for Netflix? I think so. So are they
people believe what Dave Chappelle's saying? Yes.
Yes. And Mike, you're braver than a lot of people. And I even feel like, just like me, kind of almost filtering what I'm saying is kind of how a lot of people, you know, get through, because they're kind of like, most people. How is
it brave to be like, this is science, this is true? I don't understand how that's brave at all. It's like, it's just, dude, show me the science and we'll call it a day. I'm straight. Show me the science. I'll admit I'm wrong. We'll call it a day. But the argument can't be made, well, you just don't know what the emotions are. It's like, no. It really irks me when that argument is coming from a Caucasian person. And it always is. Always. It's never come from a black person. It's never come from a Latino. It's never come from a Asian person. It's always come from a white person telling me I'm a bigot of some sort. And I'm like, cool. I understand that you or your parents put me or put my parents in a prison camp. I understand that. I do firmly know that about you. I have no problem with that. I'm not mad at you for that. Your party, your political party that you will live and die for, actually did that to my grandparents and father. I'm not going to be mad at you about that, but understand, that's what real oppression is. You having people say that, don't think what you're doing is cool. I think what you're doing is a little weird. It's not for me or my family. That's not oppression. It's not.
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally agree with you. But I just think there's more people that aren't call it brave or call it whatever you want, are afraid to speak out for fear of getting canceled or whatever, or getting this backlash, but they think exactly like we do. You know what I mean?
I don't even know if there's really backlash out there. I think it's the dumb media who will soon be obsolete. And then it's probably like Chinese propaganda. And I'm not even kidding you. You know, the Russians and the Chinese, they want us to fight on the internet. When you see 97% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and bro, I'm telling you, I saw the special. He doesn't kind of make jokes. He goes deep and hard in the paint, dude. Like hard in the paint that you will be like, ooh, am I supposed to be laughing about this? Yeah. Crap, bro, you told that joke last time where you're like, the baby punched gay people in the AIDS, and I started laughing, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to laugh about that while I'm being recorded. You know what I mean? Like, right. But it was funny, dude, and everything he says is like that. Okay, why is it 97% fresh? Go ahead. Because 97% of people don't agree with them? Because 97% of people found it offensive? Or because 97% of people are like, look, agree or disagree with your lifestyle, that's irrelevant. Can we have a conversation? Mm-hmm. Is it okay for us to say we don't agree with you? Is it okay for us to say we don't believe what you're saying? Is that okay? Or are we all going to go to hell? Are we all going to be, locked down? Are we in Russia? Are we in China? It's like, no, dude, I'm an American. I've been American my whole life. And Americans are allowed to speak as Americans are allowed to speak. Now, that being said, I'm not rude to people. You know what I mean? I don't, dude, I have gay friends, and I'm not saying that like bigots say they have black friends. I have gay friends who know I don't agree with their lifestyle, who know I appreciate their relationships, you know, that they're in, their homosexual relationships that they're in. They know I don't agree with them, but I appreciate the way they treat each other. But for me personally, it's like, look, you guys, no offense. According to my beliefs, that's incorrect. Now, according to your beliefs, it's not incorrect. And we can coexist, and we can be friends. Okay, I have no problem with that. Where I have the problem is, hey, look, guys, according to my beliefs, that's incorrect, and it's a choice. Well, you're a bigot. All right, sure. And now, dude, nothing turns my brain off quicker than you calling me a bigot, white person. Nothing turns my brain off quicker than you calling me a bigot. And I'll be honest with you, I can't stand when people get so close to that edge all the time to just watch my mouth to be like, is Mike going to say something offensive? It's like, bro, if you really want me to say something offensive, don't worry, I will. And it'll be wild and funny and everybody will laugh. But I say what I say because I don't believe in sugarcoating the truth. And if you're offended by it, you clearly are not supposed to be around me. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. But I think when you see, once again, going back to that 97%, well then 3 people from Netflix that were also transgender tried to crash the meeting, like a board meeting or something like that, or was it like a?
Was it Zoom or was it live?
It might have been Zoom. I don't know. I didn't read the story well enough. But then they got fired. Because initially it was like they got fired for a tweet. But then the CEO of Netflix came out. He's like, that's not what happened. They crashed this meeting they weren't supposed to be a part of. And so we fired them. Yeah. Or suspended them. Suspended them, I think it was.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that, and then the CEO of Netflix came out and he was like, I support Dave Chappelle.
Wow. Very brave. And he has to. And Netflix is a paid service. It's not like public access. Because in a way, YouTube is anybody. You don't need an account. You don't need whatever. Because Netflix is a subscription service. So they have the ability to kind of, to say, okay, this, that, and this. And because the story that I heard was that these 3 people got canned because they're like talking about Netflix and canceling it. Like, dude, you work here at Netflix. Apparently you don't want to work here then. Bye. And that was kind of the gist I got of it.
It was the spin. It was the media spin of, you see what happens if you tweet now, you're going to get fired. It's like, no, that's not what happened. They crashed a meeting they weren't supposed to come to. They're fired. Well, and here's the next thing. Like, you think it's bold what I'm saying. I didn't call anybody a bad word. I didn't use a slur. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying, show me science. And if you do, I promise you, I'll be like, I'm out. Cool. I agree with you. I was wrong. Yeah. But there's no science. That's the problem. You get where I'm going? If every day I come to see you, Adlai, and I just start being like, hey man, be careful what you say around me because I'm African American. And you're like, well, you're not. And I'm like, you don't know that. I identify as that. And it's like, but you're not, Mike. And it's like, but I identify as that. So you can't tell me anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
There's no science that me identifying as anything makes me anything other than what I am. You know, one time when I was in university, this is after Hot 98.3, right before I moved to Pittsburgh, the Hispanic fraternity hit me up. They I was walking through the quad or the mall. What do we call it there?
The mall.
Quad,
We call it the mall.
I was walking through the mall, and the Hispanic fraternity was like, hey, and they knew who I was. They knew I was Sketch. And so I walked over. I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, hey, man, you want to join the fraternity? And I was like, nah, bro, it's not my thing. One and two, I'm not Hispanic. You know, like, and I know that I have tons of Hispanic qualities. You know, speak Spanish, grew up in a Hispanic neighborhood, have Mexican half brother and sister, all that stuff. I'm not. And I know that I look Hispanic. I know that I might talk sounding similar to Hispanic people and fit in very well, but I'm not. I will not tell people, hey man, I'm Hispanic, because I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
But if I
were
could
they trying to put that aside? Like, don't matter. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
They wanted Sketch, dude. They didn't want Mike Ichimura. They wanted They wanted a radio disc jockey to be in their fraternity. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
And I don't blame them. I mean, hey, look how cool that is, because that wasn't really the cool fraternity at school. And I don't want to go this deep in the paint and be mean or mad or anything, because I'm not mad. I just think that if 97% of people of Rotten Tomatoes, if Dave Chappelle got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Adley, I promise you, when you see that special, it's not a couple jokes, dude. He goes hard
The whole time.
Holy goodness, does he go hard?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, he goes hard on Mike Pence. He says that Mike Pence is a homosexual, all this stuff. Okay, you don't see Mike Pence trying to cancel Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta watch that. That's the one thing I gotta do. Out of your trifecta, I hit 2 of them, but I did not hit the closer. And again,
Did you start watching Squid Games?
just like bits and pieces of it,
Okay.
like the cookie breaking and stuff.
Okay. Don't give any away on here.
Okay, yeah, okay. I don't want to spoil it, but is it worth watching? I'm gonna say yeah. Squid Game, and they're saying people are starting to want more people are wanting. Yeah, I saw that too. Because it sounds like you're missing the gist if you watch it with the dubbed English. You're missing a lot of it.
I watch it with the subtitles because when it's dubbed English, especially when it's Asian people, and I can't speak for Squid Game, so I don't want to talk down. Dude, they always give Asian people the corniest voices. It's always like, hey, Ching Fu, how dare you? And it's like, dude, nobody talks like that. And if you know what I mean, it's like. It's insulting. It's insulting to Asian people. To me, in my mind, at least, you know.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to the old kung fu flicks on KTLA. Remember that back in the day? It was all the subtitles and everything, and the mouths were off and everything. So, but as a show, though, Squid Games, because my prediction is this: they're probably going to try to do an American version of it in the future. F
it up if they do. Don't do that.
It won't be the same. It won't be the same. Yeah, because dude, you know, come on. It's a show you're just like, whoa, I am intrigued of it. Because even the first episode, like, it seems kind of low quality, whatever, neat. But you're like, dude, the content is there.
Well, the cultural context of it, too, wouldn't work as Americans. Because the honor society in Korea, you know what I mean? Like, and these people are all so indebted, they have to play the Squid Games. Spoiler alert, folks, just in case you haven't seen anything about the Squid Games, you know? So like think about the dishonor you have as a Korean, you know, in Korea, in Seoul, Korea, pretty much the technology capital of the world where everybody's doing well. And you are so far back that you have to play this game, and the dishonor that brings on you. Then one of the characters is a Pakistani, and so he's a foreigner, and he's an undocumented immigrant, and like there's so many social, like, I don't know, man. I think it's a way better version of Black Mirror, and Black Mirror is a good show, but I think it's a real weird reflection on society, that Squid Games.
Yeah, well thought out, great show. Oh my gosh, amazing.
It's so interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to beat this dead horse like with the Chappelle thing. I just think that this is the egg. This is the beginning of the crack of the woke. I think this is when the woke starts cracking apart.
Okay.
Chappelle got canceled from one of his events. I think it was Pharrell invited him to like one of these, fashion events or something like that, and they said that he couldn't be there. But it's like, do you not think that everybody still wants to see this guy do another show? Dude, he did shows in a barn, and people were like, I'm going in the middle of Ohio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is great.
Dude, and I've been in the middle of Ohio.
I'm Team Chappelle.
Yeah, the middle of Ohio sucks, dude. God bless Dave Chappelle for liking it, but I can't. Like, I live not far from Ohio, and it's like, no, thank you. Like, dude, I go to Ohio all the time with my family just to get away, but I'm not like I'm living here in the middle of nowhere. So, but people travel to barns in Ohio to watch his shows. Dude, he's not getting canceled. One, and two, I think it's going to embolden people to start talking and say what they really mean, and then three, all these woke radio shows that are supposed to be hip hop shows that are like, first of all, Chappelle, you're trying to make it sound like the baby shot somebody, but it was out of self-defense. So that argument doesn't stand up. And it's like, bro, it was a joke. It's all funny. If you can't see it was a joke, you can't see it was all funny, I think we need to pull your card, dude.
Ooh,
I think we need to pull your card. If you are that big of a sucker that you're afraid the white liberal is going to stop bird feeding you, then I need to pull your card, son.
Yeah.
Because at that point, that's what you are. You know what I mean? You're not one of us anymore. You've been brainwashed by them. So I don't know. It makes me frustrated as a minority. It does. It really does. And maybe it shouldn't. I'm open to being wrong. Is that fair?
Totally fair. Totally get it. But dude, you make a lot of valid points too. And it is Dave Chappelle. What he's doing is making it okay to talk about it, even though it hasn't been okay on the woke side. But it's getting to where, hey, there's a voice out there that thinks like we think.
Well, I hope more people now are going to be like, hey, F it, let me get canceled. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, dude, we're all hiding from the boogeyman. Who are we hiding from? CNN? Dude, their ratings are down like 40% or something like that. Like the Chino brothers gets more views than those guys do. I'm being like 100 with you. Yeah, like it's like, dude, like nobody watches you guys anymore. You don't have a hold over our attention. Dude, James Bond only did $50 million this past weekend. We don't even go to the movies anymore. We don't pay attention to what they want us. They can't tell us what to do anymore. We don't watch them anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. We just don't watch news. We don't.
We don't watch regular media. We don't listen to regular media. We don't watch regular media. And I think as their grip is getting less and less of a hold on us, they're getting more and more mad. Getting back to this, how like ignorant the media is and how dumb they are. Okay, going back to this, 30% Chappelle, right? 33%, 97% from the audience. Fauci, Dr. Fauci. There's a Netflix documentary or Disney Plus documentary where they say how great he is and he's the greatest man that ever lived and all this stuff. Okay, the critics 97%, the audience 3%.
Really?
3%.
That's see, dude, and he's trying, dude. Because that was one story we talked about. Maybe bring it on the show was the whole thing's like, hey, Dr. Fauci okays trick or treating, and then you're kind of like, dude, honestly, I was gonna trick or treat anyways, no matter what Fauci said. I'm taking my kid because one, I want him to have fun, get his costumes, go out and get some free candy. Two, I'm digging in that bag the next day.
Oh, absolutely. What are you talking about? but that's my point, though, is that the media is so far out of touch with how Americans feel. They are so far out of touch with America that and then the thing is instead of being like, maybe we're wrong and we need to figure this out, they're holding on as tight as they can because Rachel Maddow or Tucker Carlson just got a raise, and it's like, okay, well, nobody's watching you. And these idiots giving you money, they're dumb. And any dummy that thinks that you have like any celebrity status whatsoever, good. Even Shaq was like, I don't want to be a celebrity more.
Yeah.
Like, take it away from me.
Yeah. Here's the bottom line too. Make your own decision. That's
and be free to make it. That's my bottom line. Give us all our freedom back to believe what we want to. Look, I don't believe in the racist skinheads or the KKK or any of that stuff, but guess what? I live in a country that allows them to believe that. Now, and here's the truth. If you let us all have conversations instead of shut us all up, then the truth makes its way to the front. because everything else sounds like foolishness. And it's like, here's the truth. This is the truth. Oh, black people are lower than white people. All right, let's look at the truth then, and look at how genetics works. Let's look at science. Can black people be derivative of white people? No. Can white people be derivative of black people? Yes. Okay, so your ancestors were black, Mr. Skinhead, but science taught us that. Not my emotions, not my beliefs, not my idealism, not my hatred for Jesus or the Republican Party. Science. Like, and so that's the thing, is like, we should just let everybody talk. You know what I mean? Dude, you remember Wally George when we were kids? I just want to bring this up, and then
I was on the show. Yes, I was on.
Were you on the show?
I was on an episode. Yep.
Were you in the audience?
Yeah, Wally.
Oh,
Wally.
you're so lucky.
Yeah, it was hilarious, dude. It was
that
fun.
Is awesome.
It was crazy.
He filmed in Orange County, right?
Yep. I can't remember where, but I remember we went. I do remember going to an episode.
So lucky, dude. Ryan, remember Ryan from Too Strong Entertainment? He had a signed picture from Wally George.
What?
Yeah, dude. He had an 8x10 glossy autograph from Wally George, and I was just like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. He had it up in his room. But for those of you who don't know who Wally George is, before Jerry Springer, before all these, what's the guy? You're Not the Father, Maury Povich, before all these ghetto shows, the Judge shows, all that stuff, there was Wally George, and Wally George was on It was Channel 56.
It was public access,
It was
right?
Channel 56. No. It was an actual station, but I can't remember the call letters of it. It was Channel 56. It was UHF.
UHF, okay. So it wasn't major.
Yeah. And he had this talk show, and it would always be like these kids from Orange County in the audience that looked wearing board shorts and long hair and stuff, but they always loved Wally. And he was this far, like, extreme right Republican. If he was around today, they would definitely call him a Klan member. They would definitely call him they'd call him everything in the book. And he had a picture of the Duke behind him, of John Wayne on one side and of President Reagan on the other side. American flag, yeah. And he'd bring people on with dissenting ideas. Dude, you remember when he brought on the Reverend Bud Green?
Gosh, no, I don't remember that.
It was awesome. So
that was a big weed smoker, dude?
Yeah, he was a marijuana pastor, right? He believed in marijuana. And so Wally's like, you think that marijuana's going to take care of it? Well, you're wrong. And he was like, you searched me, you searched my pockets, you patted me down like police, but you didn't search the Bible. Hallelujah. And he pulled out a joint and lit it up on stage. And then Wally's bit was he'd always throw you off stage, he'd kick you out of here, but he always say, you ludicrous liberal. But the show was awesome because people were allowed to come on and say how they really felt, and no one was getting canceled. And dude, there were some wild people on that show.
Oh my gosh, yeah, dude! I gotta go find some old footage of that because I felt like
YouTube, baby, it's all over YouTube.
It's gotta be okay.
All over
I'm looking for the
YouTube.
episode I'm in, dude. I gotta look for that. Okay.
I wish I knew you're in an episode, but I don't know.
It's funny.
It's hard to find like specific episodes, I think. But yeah, YouTube, Wally George. Oh my gosh, dude. But that's the thing is we're not allowed to talk. Guess what? I feel like America's being like, no, we're allowed to talk. And I feel like the greatest comedian, who should be dubbed the prophet of rage, I think Dave Chappelle should be dubbed the prophet of rage, was the one that was like, hey guys, guess what? You're allowed to speak. And I think a lot of people are like, good. But when you're watching all the podcasts or you're watching all the radio, like especially corporate radio people like Charlemagne, dude, they are tap dancing around like sissies. Like, well, it's like, I don't want to get. It's like, dude, stop worrying. Stop. If you have talent, you don't have to worry, because Chappelle just showed us he has a pile of talent and he has nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Speaking of talent, I got two talented young ladies to talk to you about. One named Cardi B, one named Nicki Minaj. And we'll start with Cardi B. Isn't that what she does?
Okay.
All right. Born Beleles Marlines Almanzar. I don't know if that's how you say her name by any stretch of the imagination. She's born October 11th, 1992, after we graduated from high school. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Raised in New York, born in New York, became an internet celebrity on Vine and Instagram, and got the name Cardi because her sister's name's Hennessy, and they used to call her Bacardi when they were in school. Like, oh, Hennessy and Bacardi, and then she shortened it to Cardi.
Okay.
Nicki Minaj, born Onika Tanya Mirage Petty. Born December 8th, 1982. So this lady's getting ready for her AARP card, but she looks great.
Yeah.
Doesn't she look
She
great?
does.
She don't
She
look
does.
like that. Yeah. Born in St. James, Trinidad. Her father was a drug addict, and in order to deal with the hard trauma of her childhood, she would create these characters and different personalities, and that's where the Nicki Minaj character in her mind kind of started taking form.
Okay.
Nicki, after she graduated from high school, was cast in a Broadway play, and then started uploading her rap beats and rap lyrics
Songs and stuff.
Exactly, to MySpace.
Okay.
And then was discovered by Lil Wayne.
Off of MySpace, huh? Yeah, because she came out. So this is probably even early 2000s.
Yeah.
Mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s. Okay.
Cardi B started stripping and had a huge social media following. At 23, she was cast in Love and Hip Hop, but before that, she had a huge Instagram and Twitter following. And she was stripping, so all her patrons would join her Instagram. Boom, boom, boom. So it started growing up. And then she was cast on Love and Hip Hop. Now, I never watched Love and Hip Hop. Have you ever watched the show?
No, I didn't. Mm-mm.
Oh. Well, after all that, she took all her money and put it into a mixtape. And so that's how she became the rapper that we know. She was signed to Atlantic in June 2007 and dropped Bodak Yellow. That was her first single. It got 650 million views on YouTube.
That was 2007?
Yep. Or 17. No, 2017.
Oh, I was going to say, okay. I was like, whoa.
Sorry.
Dude, Bodak Yellow was ridiculously good. You play that anywhere. Yeah, that was the jam.
What's crazy is now we're not talking about how many records they sell. We're talking about how many views they got.
How many views?
YouTube.
650 million views?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a great song. These is blood issues.
What do you think's more impressive, though? Getting 650 million views on YouTube or going platinum, like on a record?
I don't know, because platinum, I mean, that's a million copies. And back in, when we were doing radio in the 90s, 2000s, it was that was a huge deal to go platinum, and it didn't just happen anytime. And that meant, touring, merch, all that other stuff. But views, you put together a good video and people watch it, you're just like, YouTube cuts checks, right? I mean, for those views.
Well, but I know, but what's more impressive? Like, what to you would you be more impressed if you went to somebody's house and they had a platinum plaque, or if they had a YouTube plaque?
That's a tough call, because that's really a toss up. Because back when you were selling records and CDs and cassettes and got to get to platinum, there was a lot of work you had to put into it. As far as like going on the road, stopping by La Puente Lane at KOHT to stop and take pictures with the DJs and night jocks, and hitting the road. And now it's like you put the video out, and I'm not saying anyone's harder than the other, because still, dude, you got it on YouTube. You got to navigate through a lot of other people that do what you do and could be just as good as you. And even then, if they're not as good as you, they could still blow up. I mean, dude, you know that country song? Where did it like Applebee's? And dude, he came to the Kern County Fair, and Kate and I were there that night, and I wish we'd stayed to see it, because that's a pretty catchy, fun song. But his other songs, you're like, they're kind of mediocre.
Signed him though for the commercial, so like he's probably balling now, right?
Yeah, so he's fine. But his other music, you're like, it's okay. But that song is great. So I'm just thinking, to get 650 million views on her first single, her first really big song, is pretty freaking impressive. And I think to push on that level, though, if you get a management company, they can be like, all right, time to hit the road, time to hit that merch, time to, milk what we can. But it provides an avenue that 20 years ago, artists didn't have this avenue. Dude, we'd see, dude, come on, we'd see artists at the club.
I had the worst booger in my nose. I couldn't get it out, and so I was like, I'm going to go off camera so I could pick my nose. But anyways.
I kind of want. I was going to say I want to see it, but no, I don't.
No, I flicked it. I flicked it across.
Okay, but yeah, dude. So it's impressive to get 650 million views. Yeah. And one, you're getting paid, but two, dude, you're navigating through a sea of
agree.
competition.
No,
That's
I
the hard
agree. I
part.
agree as the Chino brother. I agree. So
Yeah.
a month later, Nicki Minaj was on No Flag, which was she was a feature on there. It was 21 Savage, London on the Track, and Offset. So I guess Cardi B and Offset have some type of a relationship, which we'll talk about later.
Okay.
But on the track, she says, "Little bees, I heard these labels trying to make another me. Everything you're getting, little hoe, is 'cause of me." Nicki said that those lines weren't about Cardi B, though.
Huh.
Yeah. Then Cardi B guest host Remy Ma's set on Hot 97 Summer Jam. So Hot 97 had Summer Jam. Remy Ma was there, and she brought out Cardi B, and Remy Ma dissed Nicki Minaj.
Guilty by association.
I mean, maybe.
Just- okay. Okay. Yeah, Remy Ma though. Come on, she's been around since what, 90s? Well,
Yeah, she's been around for a
2000s,
minute.
right?
She's been
90s,
around
yeah.
for she's
So-
been around for a minute because
Yeah.
she was on. She was with She do tracks with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like-
Okay. She was down with like Fat Joe, right? She was
Yeah,
on Lean
yeah,
Back and all that
exactly.
stuff too. So okay, she's been around. Dude, that's kind of one of those things. Dude, Nicki Minaj has skills, dude. When she first came out, I was like, dope rapper. Cardi B, it's a different style, but it's still good. But I don't know, dude. That's Cardi B was kind of, you'd watch her and yeah, you could tell she's a stripper. But dude, she spoke her mind. Can't
That's
hate her
true.
for that, you know.
Both of them do, I guess. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember when
Yeah.
Cardi B came out and talked about taxes. She's so mad.
Yeah, dude. And
Where's my
Nicki-
money going? Where's my money? I want a receipt. Yeah.
We talked about Nicki Minaj a few episodes ago about the vaccine and how she's like, I'm not taking it. My cousin's friends, nuts swole up or whatever it
Yeah,
was,
that's
dude.
true.
So
I guess
you know,
it came out that wasn't true though. But anyways, so then Nicki guessed, or she does a what do they call it? What do you call
Collab?
it? Yeah, she guest collabs on G-Eazy's record, No Limit. And Nicki says, "Can't stop y'all with all the subs. B, I ain't Jared. If you really want some smoke, you can put up, you can get it." So I thought that was pretty clever wordplay though. Stop
Yeah.
with all the subs. B, I ain't Jared. You know Jared from Subway.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Stop
yeah,
with all the
yeah.
subs. But she was using the word subs as substitutes. In other words, all these other female rappers are substitutes. She went on Charlemagne the God, the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God. That's a show, right? The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, Breakfast Club. Yep.
Yeah. She went on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God, and he asked her about that line, and she was like, "Look, there's a lot of bees still in the hood that want to F with me, and I still go to the hood." So that wasn't addressed to anybody you know. It was addressed to these bees in the hood.
Okay. Not Cardi B.
Yeah. Then they both collab on Motorsport, that from Migos. They both collab on that together.
Huh.
And and Cardi goes on a radio show and says that Nicki hadn't finished her verse before they had to turn their verses in. For some reason, Nicki felt dissed by that. So in August of 2018, Nicki puts out Queen. And on Ganja Burns, she says, unlike a lot of these hoes. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how she said it. Unlike a lot of these hoes, whether whack or lit, at least I can say I wrote every verse I spit. So so what she's saying now essentially is that Cardi doesn't write her own rhymes.
Do we know that she was talking specifically about Cardi or just in general?
I mean, once again,
Who knows?
It's cryptic, right? But
Yeah.
then Nicki Minaj goes on the source and outright says that Cardi B is paying for spins.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting, dude. Interesting. Dude, and I don't know. I respect both as artists, but
Well, then
What's-
Cardi B goes on the VMAs and says, "Look, I got all this love from my fans. I got all this love from the radio. I got all this love from all these people. That's something that you can't buy." And then she looks at the camera and says, "B," like that. So who's she talking to?
Interesting. So, okay.
And it all boils down to September 7th at the Harper's Bazaar Icon Party during New York Fashion Week. Cardi B goes in and just starts going wild at Nicki Minaj. She throws her shoe at her. She starts throwing bottles at her. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Then Nicki Minaj's friend. Now this is where controversy comes. I don't want to say controversy. This is where the story splits. So Nicki Minaj says that her friend Ra Ali beat the brakes off her, and you see pictures of Cardi B after the event, and she has a big knot on the top of her head because somebody beat her on the top of the head. But Cardi B says that it was security that did it.
Huh?
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, so they've actually fought more than Kanye and Drake?
Yeah, fought for real, yeah. And then Cardi B's sister goes on Black Twitter and said that Nicki looked like a crackhead.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then Nicki Minaj went on her radio show, Queen Radio, and she said they were lying on her and just keep her name out of your mouth. Stop talking about me, stop lying on me, and keep your name out of my mouth. Cardi B says that the security guard hit her instead of Ra Ali. Nicki said Ra Ali did it, and she says that she has videos.
Who's Ra Ali? Wait, who's Ra Ali?
Ra Ali is Nicki Minaj's homegirl. So,
Okay.
I think it might be her security. I could be wrong. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
All right.
But she rolls with Nicki.
Yep. Nicki said, Nicki said that Cardi made 21 Savage and Offset not make the music video for that song with her. She went and told them, you can't make that music video. And so Nicki lost the opportunity to make that music video.
Huh.
Yeah. Cardi said there's no footage, not even security footage of Ra Ali beating her up, and then complained about how on Motorsport she changed her verse.
Wow.
And then Cardi says that she wants to sue Nicki for defamation of character because Nicki said that she's using payola, which is illegal.
Ladies. Dude, I mean, what other female rappers do you talk about in today's hip-hop music scene?
I know, huh?
There's no other ones, really. I really honestly
That's
can't
true.
think of any. And dude, these two are the best females. They both have skills. Can't they just get along?
Well, the real problem, I think, is that you got these egos, and you've got two girls that are from the hood that are now in this like weird, like crystal world of the ultra famous. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
God only knows what's going on around in those circles and like how they have to behave and stuff. Fashion Week, like I'm not going to Fashion Week. You know what I mean? Dude,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a rapper. You think Tupac went to Fashion Week? Like I don't think he's going to Fashion Week.
Yeah. It is a different world, and because they're kind of like fashion models. They're beautiful women, but they still got people talking about them, and I'm sure you got people on the side of their ear just like, hey, you gonna let her get away with that?
And to address the payola thing, sorry to break all your hearts. Every song you've ever heard on the radio was paid for in one way, shape, or form. And a lot of times through cocaine to a program director. Now, I'm not saying all program directors did that. I know our program directors never did that. But there's some... Payola is so rampant, and now especially with the internet. And just in case you guys are wondering, the Chino brothers pay for views, dude. You think we're not? You think we're too good for payola? I'll admit it right here. Them 20,000 views, all them views you see. And granted, we're paying like a penny a view or something like that. But that's just because I'm a good negotiator with my bargaining skills.
Nice.
Cardi
Yeah.
B then accuses Nicki Minaj of giving out her phone number.
Huh.
Then Cardi B gets mad at Nicki Minaj for getting a purse line with Diesel and says that they wanted the purse line to go to her, but she turned it down. Diesel, the clothing company, replied and told Cardi B that was a lie.
Oh, jeez.
Nicki Minaj had said that these other rappers wouldn't do the music video with her for Motorsport because of what Cardi B had said. This week, Tyga came out and said that wasn't the case. 21 Savage came out and said, yeah, we weren't going to make the video anyways because the song wasn't that popping. So it had nothing to do with your beef with Cardi B.
Wow.
And that's where we are today, folks.
Yeah, I hope you two can get along at some point, because Yeah, you two females or the dopest, I think, right now, no question about it. And Nicki, dude, I remember from early Drake stuff, you the best. And when you heard her, you're like, dude, she's dope. She's going places. You know what I mean? She's gonna blow up. Cardi B, that Bodak Yellow. When I heard it, I was like, this is gonna be dope, and this is the launch of a big career. So hopefully they get together and get along and get.
I
over
think
this.
it's hard though
Hopefully.
when you think about it, because like think about actors, right? And think about like Will Smith. Okay, so for every role they want Will Smith to play when they're making a movie, they're like, yeah, we want Will Smith. And if Will Smith's like, I can't do that one because I have a prior obligation or I don't like the script or whatever it is, then they start going down the line, right? Okay, well, is Brad Pitt available? Okay, is Tom Cruise available? Is, you know what I mean? Until they finally get to like Tom Hardy or like one of the Chris's, you know, Chris Hemsworth or, you know, one of those guys.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay. Think about if you're one of two hot female rappers and Maroon 5 is going to make a song and they want to have a feature on there.
Okay, that could get a little tricky.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could, because you'd be like, I want it to, yeah. That's okay. Okay, when you get to that situation, it's like, whoa.
But that's, I mean, how would you feel? I would probably be a little frustrated. It's like, dude, Cardi B keeps getting all these features. Because a feature might not pay that well, but it brings attention to your other music, you know?
Right, yeah.
So-
yeah. And Maroon 5, using that as an example, that's one of the top pop bands, you know? So yeah, I get that. That would be interesting. But dude, come on. I think in this industry, one thing we've learned is don't take it personal. Do you think?
Yeah.
Is there a lesson there?
I've learned that you have to have very thick skin. I actually was thinking about the two of us while I was driving, listening to all their stories and learning all their, like, the beef and stuff. I was thinking about the two of us, and I'm like, there is a tremendous advantage of being 50 years old and having gone through so much stuff already.
Yeah.
Because then at that point, you just kind of don't have an ego anymore. You're just kind of like, look, life has kicked the ego out of me. I don't have one left. If I don't get a phone call from Adelaide this month, it ain't going to hurt my feelings. You know, versus, you know, oh, Adelaide, you didn't call me this month. It's like, dude, you know Adelaide is crappy at calling people. You know what I mean? I'm being honest with you. And
I know
this
you're
isn't
saying.
me trying to make you feel bad. But, like,
You're not the first person to say that.
of course, everybody says that to you. But it's not, you know, well, he dissed me because of that. All right, but if you're 19, you might feel that way. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you think? You're too cool to call me back? You know, when you're 50, it's like, oh yeah, I guess it was last month that I called that. I probably should check up on him again. Hey, how's Kate doing? How, you know what I mean? Or like if I really haven't talked to you for like, now we talk all the time because of this, but if I hadn't talked to you back in the day when we would talk, and I hadn't talked to you for like 2 months, and I'm like, dude, I got to talk to this guy. I'd call you 3 times in a row. You know I would.
Yeah,
I'd call you,
yeah.
leave a voicemail, call right back, leave a voicemail, call right back, leave a voicemail. And that was the signal of like, oh crap, I haven't talked to Mike in way too long.
In a while. Yeah, in a long time.
And then
Yeah,
you
I got to
me
call
the
this
next
guy.
day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there'd be the little pop-ups like, hey, buddy, how you doing? So anyways, yeah, I think there's a lot of ego. I think there's a lot of whatever. And I think there's a lot of advantage to being 50 and starting a media program, starting a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, when you're 50 and you're starting a podcast, it's like, if you like Adelaide more than you like me, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings. If he becomes the poster on your wall, I'm not gonna be jealous. I'm 50. As long as I'm going on the ride. You know what I mean?
If you're Jake and I'm Logan, wait, which one's the cool one? Paul.
Neither.
Oh, okay, bad examples. But either way, and I think too, dude. Even if I try to call somebody or text somebody, I'm like, they're probably busy. People get busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Dwayne Chavez, right? Like we wanted Dwayne to come on the show tonight, and like he couldn't make it, and neither of us are like, what's he dissing us? How dare he? We're going after his radio station. It's like he's busy.
I just figure like, dude, he's like a superstar. He DJs for Poetic Justice.
Exactly.
Rolling with her Dallas. He just maybe doesn't have time for us, and I'm not going to be mad about it. But Dwayne, we'd love to have you on the show.
Absolutely love to have him on the show, but I'm not. But realistically, neither of us were like, how dare he diss us? Like, dude, he's busy. People are busy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, and I think when you start letting yourself think people are dissing you, that's when your ego flares up. It's like, dude, you're wasting your life.
Wasting time, dude.
All right, what do we got for the news, baby? Give me some of that news.
So we got to jump into, and we were on top of this quickly. We talked about R. Kelly. Obviously, he's been in the news a lot.
Oh, this is the best story.
We
This
know
is the
why.
this is the best story.
It's insane, and we talked about this.
Yeah, I want to start with that. Like, so was it a week ago or something? Adelaide
Yeah.
and I were talking about how we don't feel like we should listen to R. Kelly's music anymore.
Yeah.
And like we were trying our hardest to be like, you can't do it. Almost like we were trying to talk each other out of dating ex-girlfriends, you know?
Yeah.
It's bad. You can't do it. But then we'd slip into it like, dude, that song's so dope. Da, da, da. And we're singing his songs and stuff. And then we cut it up and put it out in a video. And
Yes.
so
Yes, so
Adlai,
good.
everybody loves this man's monster. He's a monster. He's an awful human, but he makes such beautiful music. What were you going to tell us?
Well, the thing is, speaking of streaming, album sales, all this stuff, you think how percentage-wise, how much did his album sales go up? I'll let you take a stab at it. How
Since he got
big a number
since he got arrested
since the guilty
or
verdict?
since he got guilty? You
So
would think,
a week and a half ago,
but
not
hold
long
on,
ago.
you'd think that his record sales would go down because we found out that he was peeing on girls in the dungeon and keeping them shack, all that stuff. You know what I mean? He's a monster. So
you think he'd be canceled?
Yeah, you think his record sales would go down.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, since you asked me how much I think they went up, they must have gone up, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and honestly, I have no idea. Give me the number.
His album sales went up more than 500%.
500%.
500%.
That is so funny, dude.
And
His
just
music is so good, though. What can
it's
you
really
do?
good. It is. And now this is the crazy part. Found guilty of kidnapping,
Oh my
sexual
gosh.
exploitation of a child,
Oh my
racketeering,
Such an awful person.
500% in the week following his conviction. So within a week, because everybody's like, oh man, he's guilty, he's nasty, but man, Step in the Name of Love was the jam.
Dude, the
It
thing
was the
is,
jam.
you like. I bet everybody did exactly what we did, because we both did the same thing, and then we just randomly talked about it on the show. Like it wasn't planned, nothing. It just was like, hey, are you still listening to R. Kelly? Yeah, man. And we both felt kind of guilty, and we're like, we gotta
It's kind
stop.
of weird, kind of
Yeah.
icky. Yeah.
I bet you everybody did the same thing. As soon as he came up in the news, they were like, oh yeah, R. Kelly, I forgot I liked his music. And then they listened to one of his songs and got honey trapped. Because that golden voice, dude. That golden voice, he honey traps you, dude.
Oh
You
my
can't-
gosh, dude.
You can't be ashamed of yourself, all you 500,000 or 500%, whatever. All you people that bought his albums, you can't be ashamed of yourself. I'm not looking down on you.
Dude, well think about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Saying everybody did his music's great. He was a weirdo, you know, but
Dude,
you know,
R. Kelly's music is phenomenal.
but it's really good. And here's the crazy part. So, and I was telling you too, I was like going through like YouTube looking for songs. A lot of them you can't find, and even YouTube pulls two of Kelly's official channels, citing the platform's creator responsibility guidelines, which say YouTube can remove a user for on and or off platform behavior.
I think that's fair, especially in this situation with R.
this
Kelly.
situation,
I
okay,
don't necessarily
okay.
believe in censorship, but in this situation, the guy's a freaking monster. Dude, that'd be like having the Grand Wizard from the Clan on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here's the problem. His music, dude, he did the perfect blend of R&B. So if you're a guy, you can enjoy it, or if you're a girl, you can enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Whether you're having a good time or a bad time, or you're caught up in some drama, there's an R. Kelly song for each situation. Every time.
He was a gangster R&B singer. And like he was like the Allen Iverson of R&B. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When Iverson was
okay.
playing ball, he was a gangster. He was the first one to get cornrows. He was the first one to have all them crazy tattoos. And everybody's like, well, he's a gangster. He was gangbang affiliated. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, man, but I play basketball. Here we go. Boom. That was R. Kelly. Like, he looked like a thug, but then he opened his mouth and angels came out, dude. That's how good his music is.
I Believe I Can Fly. This is a great song. And here, can I just mention what YouTube said?
Go ahead.
Egregious actions committed by R. Kelly warrant penalties beyond standard enforcement measures due to a potential to cause widespread harm. Is it playing his music's going to cause harm? I thought that was kind of weird, kind of strange.
I don't know, man.
It's just the
Like,
ickiness of
problem
knowing
is
who made it.
It's if Hitler made good songs, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, you can't have Hitler on there. He's bad. R. Kelly is bad, dude. Like, he's just a bad dude.
It's gonna make its way back though, dude. The music, I think.
I can't.
think.
I mean, 500% of it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
500% up in record sales. Dude, his wordplay was dope, bro. Crystal popping in my fresh alligators. Like, who talks like that? A pimp. That's who talks like that. But we thought he was just pretending on the songs. But in real life, he was a freak. That cat was a freaky deaky. But
dude, and that music with Jay-Z, man, and it was right when he was accused, and Jay-Z's like, let's kill this project. That album was really good. Really good, man. That was the I don't know, I had to Get This Money on it. That's the song I remember. And we'd actually, wherever I was at, I feel like we'd started to play it. And then it was kind of like, we're going to slowly pull that out of the playlist. It was playing that. But, dude, the music was so good, man. I remember listening to that and just thinking, like, dude, R. Kelly, Jay-Z, a whole album
I know.
together?
Well, Robert Kelly, you're a pervert, and shame on you 500% that bought his album. But I don't blame you. But I don't blame you.
And we talked about that too. Who's getting the money from these spins, from these album sales? Is he actually getting it?
Probably. Yeah.
Now, once you're
supporting a monster. Stop.
But he's
buying
already
his
convicted.
records.
Isn't there some kind of law that says you can't make money, or is it while you're in jail, or
while
what
you're
is
in
it?
jail, you make money too, dude. That's how come when remember those Charles
Like
Manson
Silk the
shirts?
Shaka and C
Remember
Murder?
those Charles Manson shirts that were real popular in the 90s because Axl Rose wore one on stage.
Yeah.
Everybody started wearing them. Yeah, he was getting all that money in jail.
Oh, he
It was going on his books, dude. Yeah.
So he's making money off of that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my dude, that's
Robert,
insane too.
Be embarrassed of yourself, Robert. What's our next story, Adley?
Okay, now the next one, our final story for the evening, NASA. Oh, we
Hey,
got a couple comments.
Marcus said, "What's up?"
My bad.
Hey, cousin Mike.
I'm lagging on this.
Sorry.
Marcus Scott. Hey, cousin Mike.
What's up,
There you
Marcus?
go.
You would have loved our opener of this show. You should watch that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So NASA is test flying cars for public transportation. NASA, dude,
That is dope.
Dude, can I just show you a little? Think we ignore that if you can hear it, but I was gonna show a video of
If
some.
you can, show it.
Okay, let's see. Let me get on here, guys, so you can check this out.
Share it if you got it.
It's interesting to think about it too, because you think Jetsons, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
dude.
whoa, this is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I want to see a flying car.
Yeah, I want one. And dude, sitting in,
Let me see.
dude, you guys got
Is it
traffic
gonna
in
be a dud
Pittsburgh.
or is it cool?
It's it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, it's already on. Okay, cool.
I don't
cool.
even
I'm just
care
gonna
about
play
the
it.
traffic in Pittsburgh, dude. I care about like flying to New York in my flying car. Man,
Yeah,
what
they're
is
test
that?
driving these in Florida.
I thought you were gonna rickroll me. I was like,
Glad
you did.
Like, you guys want more volume? Sorry, let's see.
On passengers in the busy city.
You get the point, though,
Helping
dude.
to
It's a
annoying
freaking
dope.
flying car, dude.
The all-electric vertical
How
takeoff.
great is that?
The eVTOL
dope.
and the landing aircraft.
I would
designed
love
by
one of
the
those. It's
California
a giant
startup
drone that
Joby
can haul
Aviation.
people.
It's
Is
a
basically
helicopter
what it
powered
is.
by 6 rotors.
Now, are
dude.
you
It was
driving
designed
it,
to
or
be
is
as
it like a
quiet
GPS
as possible
thing?
to fit into the busy
Like
city
a
line
self-driving thing?
without disturbing the rest.
Turn
Turn it on
this
down.
Indian guy down, bro.
During
so
the
we
kill it.
2-week test
Yeah,
campaign, which
he's
But how
killing it.
awesome is that, dude?
Dude, that's the best thing I've
think
ever
I
seen
can-
in my life.
Can I
That's
make
just
this
a regular
thing
airplane,
flip?
right? Oh no, like the propellers turn some way?
Yeah, it flips around and stuff, so you could actually go straight vertical, like a helicopter even too. So
Don't get me wrong. Oh, dude, you do fly. Look at that. Just a regular guy's flying his own car.
look at this, dude.
Look at that guy. He's like, I am a pimp from NASA. I'm making your dreams come true, baby. Everything you've ever wanted in life is right here. Look at that flying car, dude.
It would just be so awesome to just
Dude, in California, it would be phenomenal, especially LA. LA sucks, dude. That traffic is the worst.
Yes.
But, dude, if I could make it to New York City in 3 hours in my flying car, I'd go every
How
weekend,
sweet would
dude.
that be?
Dude,
Yes.
think about it. You could live in LA and work in Vegas, or vice versa. You know
Yeah,
what I
because they
mean?
got to go at what, 100 and something miles an hour,
I
150
don't
miles an
know,
hour?
dude. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, dude, but yeah, how sweet
No
that'd be.
traffic though.
Oh, dude, yeah, that would be
And a
so
straight line
great.
too, Adley. Think of how many curves you're taking on the road to get somewhere. You got to go around this stupid hill that has nothing to do with nothing. You got to go this way. You got to go that way. Not in my helicopter, I don't, or whatever this thing's called.
Flying car, dude.
I'm
It's
just
a
going-
flying car.
As the crow flies. You know that saying, as the crow flies? Every trip would be as the crow flies, or as my flying car flies.
It would
Bro,
be so
look at that thing.
sweet.
Look at them. Where are they? Manhattan? Oh,
Beautiful
look at
view all the time.
Oh yeah, look at you, man. You lucky.
Yeah.
You're the
Eventually, you'll get
luckiest
to
man.
solar-powered flying cars, and it would be just powered by the sun. How great would that be?
Yeah, you have
Joby,
the right to
there's the
cheer. Look at
company.
those
That's
people
another company
cheering.
there.
Good for them.
Look at
All right,
that.
well, let's take this off and close up the show.
Yeah, man. But it's the future, so that'll be
Wait,
exciting.
how far away is this?
Oh gosh, I don't know, dude. It's
It doesn't say in the
It,
story.
it doesn't really say. The one thing it said is they're testing it actually in Orlando, Florida. So if you live in Florida,
Marcus does. Marcus lives in Orlando.
Marcus lives in Florida. Okay, what's the other homie? My Home Depot homie, Grant. Grant lives in Florida too. So
He lives in Miami, though.
was he Miami? Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, if you guys are out there, dude, keep an eye out for flying cars and stuff, and let us know how it goes, because that would be amazing, amazing.
What would you rather have than a flying car? I don't even know anything I'd rather have than a flying car.
I don't know. That's gosh, that would be so, dude. That'd be insane to have yeah. You could go anywhere. You can be there. So if I wanted to go to LA, a 2, 3, 4 hour drive, depending on traffic, I'd love to get there in 40 minutes.
Yeah,
I think that'd be great.
as the crow flies.
As the crow flies, that would
Could
be
you imagine that?
sick.
Dude, here would be phenomenal because there's so many cities that are 5 hours away. Where it's like you got New York 5 hours away, you got DC 5 hours away, you got Philadelphia 6 hours away, you got Chicago 8 hours away, you got like everything's so relatively close. I'm just getting in my car, dude.
Get in your flying car. Be there in 35 minutes. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be sweet.
I'm going to Boston.
Be so cool, man. Oh my gosh. How would you regulate that? That would get kind of ridiculous, I think, if they became somewhat common. Hey, just be careful, right?
You just
Put floating traffic lights up or something.
Yeah, something. I don't know how. Dude, I don't want no traffic. Give me the next level up, whatever. It's like I'll be above you fools.
Yeah, the next-
I don't want no traffic, man.
You got an air
That's-
freeway. Oh, dude,
That would-
just get in line.
Dude, that if I'm on that air freeway better have a diamond lane, and I better have the pass. I ain't trying to, dude. I don't want no more traffic. That's why you want the flying car in the first place.
Just to get out of all that mess. Oh my god, dude,
Bro.
that'd be amazing. I'd love it.
Could you imagine if you could take your flying car? If you could take your flying car to LA every day if you felt like it and have lunch. Just be like, dude, I'm gonna fly to LA.
somewhere on the coast?
Yeah.
Go to Redondo.
Yeah.
Where,
go sell some good food.
Was it? With the coconut took us there? What was his name?
Yeah, Danny.
Danny the coconut. Yeah, took us to Redondo right on the pier
15
there.
minute flight.
That'd be amazing. Yes, that'd be
Get
great.
something to eat and then just fly back to Bakersfield.
Fly to the coast, get some clam chowder, fly back. Perfect.
You could live anywhere and
dig
work
it.
in another town. So you could live in like, I don't know, some weird Central California city and work
Yeah.
in San Francisco. Just make all that San Francisco money, take it back to your little weird town where houses are worth 250,000. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and live like a king.
Oh, you live like a prince, dude.
That'd
Just
be
having
so
that
dope.
flying helicopter make me a prince, baby. I'll tell you that right now. I love
Just
that
think-
idea.
What about when people had horses and stuff, and then cars came out? They're like, oh, we'll be able to get from Bakersfield to LA in an hour and a half. It's gonna be so awesome. And then traffic jams.
I know. Whatever we're doing, NASA, let's make sure there's no space traffic jams or airplane traffic jams or whatever we're going to call these things, traffic jams. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing that makes what we're already doing suck. And just
Yes.
being in the air isn't what excites us. It's
Yes.
the
Beating the
speediness of
traffic.
travel. Yeah,
Getting around the
exactly.
traffic, dude. I hate sitting in traffic. You guys that live in LA or big city like that, I don't miss that about
Yeah, the
living in
bird
Orange
doesn't have
County.
that kind of
Do
traffic,
not.
dude.
Oh, really? Oh,
not,
nice.
dude, no one has that kind of traffic. I've never
So
seen
bad.
that traffic anywhere.
Chicago? Have you been to Chicago,
Chicago
rush
has
hour?
bad traffic. Chicago has
Yeah.
bad traffic, and DC has bad traffic. Even New York City has bad traffic, but not like Los Angeles.
Really? Ugh.
Yes, because it's for miles in Los
It
Angeles.
doesn't end.
It's I'm 13 miles away from where I'm supposed to be, and it's gonna take me an hour and a half if I'm lucky. And that's
I'm gonna smoke 2 packs of cigarettes, sitting in traffic, waiting to get 13 miles.
you never know how close you live to someplace until you drive on a Sunday. You're like, we live this close to Little Tokyo? Yes.
It's totally true.
I
Oh my
remember, dude,
gosh,
one time I
dude.
remember I drove on a Sunday to Little Tokyo and I left something at my mom's house and I just turned around, picked it back up and came back. It wasn't like I was like, well, it's
There was
staying
no
there.
traffic.
I think it was my vape. It was my vape or my cell phone. I was just like, I'll just go get it. And it took me like 30 minutes to get back. I'm like,
You're like, this is too
how
short.
did this hour and a half drive take 30 minutes? Yeah, dude. F traffic and yay to flying cars and yay to the Chino brothers on YouTube. Please, guys, come and subscribe. We are so close to being able to go live on our own YouTube channel. Adley,
can't
you know
wait.
how many followers we got now?
We're over 700.
907.
907.
I know, isn't that great? Yeah, I know. Isn't that dope? Yeah.
That is very dope. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm excited.
All
I'm
right,
pumped.
guys. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Clapper. And one last thing, Clapper from the Chino brothers. Thank you so much. You are the dopest platform. You allow free speech. You aren't trying to cancel Dave Chappelle. You wouldn't get upset at the things the Chino brothers say. We love you, Clapper. Adley, what are you going to say to Clapper?
Definitely love Clapper. Definitely, if you guys aren't on Clapper, make sure you get on it. Check us out. We're on there too. Chino Brothers. Chino Brothers everywhere. Follow us on all social platforms and on YouTube, Chino Brothers Podcast.
That's it. All right, we'll see you guys next time.